There are a few things that I've added into my day over the years and really started to prioritize because I've discovered how these little moments bring me so much more joy and happiness in my day to day. I think a lot of us can sometimes get caught up in this trap where we think, I'll be happy when I achieve XYZ, or I'll be happy when I make X amount of money. And while these things can absolutely improve your life, a lot of times when we do eventually get this thing, our happiness doesn't really change all that much, or it might change for a bit in the short term, for a few days, for a few weeks, but once it kind of wears out, everything kind of returns to normal and we reach our own ground zero again. One of the things I've learned in my 20s is that you can't just wait to be happy. You have to create it for yourself. Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jills and I talk about all things wellness and self-development for women. So if that's something you want to learn more about, be sure to hit the red subscribe button below as well as the notification bell so you don't miss when I put out any new videos. Now, the first daily habit that I wanted to mention that really helps me is getting ready in the morning. Now, I'm not saying you need to spend an hour or two getting ready and look like you're heading off to the prom or a fancy gala, but maybe just take a little bit of time, just 20 minutes to get ready in the morning to look good, whatever that means for you, so that you can feel good. For me personally, I find that when I just spend an extra 20 to 30 minutes kind of putting myself together every morning, the rest of my day is so much better. I'm happier, I'm more excited for life, I'm more confident, I'm more productive, I'm more motivated. And so even though it takes 30 minutes out of my morning, it's worth it because it benefits the whole rest of my day. When we actually put a little bit of effort into our appearance, our outfit, whatever, we present ourselves differently to the world. This is just the reality. I think especially over the last year with a lot of people working from home, we've become very comfortable with just staying in our PJs all day or not brushing our hair for 3 days. And while this kind of freedom is really fun and liberating in the short term, in the long term, this makes us feel like crap. So I challenge you to do this. Take some time every morning to put yourself together in a way that makes you feel good. Even if it's just a Saturday you're planning on chilling at home all day, that's okay. Spend just 20 minutes still getting ready. Take a shower, put on that cute new lounge set that you got. Have a nice fresh face, pull your hair back, whatever makes you feel good, but just put in a little bit of effort. When you do this every morning, it kind of sets the tone for the type of day that you're going to have. And it might sound silly, but it really works. So I really encourage you to try this. Even if you wake up, you're feeling really down, you're in a rut, just spend 20 minutes getting ready. I guarantee you that it will help. Also, side note on this, make getting ready fun. Remember back in the day in high school or college where you would get ready for like a party or some big event with your friends and you would all be getting ready together, listening to music, and it was fun. It was a special part of the night. You can kind of still create this ritual for yourself every morning. You can play some music. You can make it something fun. You can make it a good part of your day. And the next habit to live a happier life is to always be working towards something. Now, of course, this could be big things, something that you're spending a few hours a day on, but that's not really what I mean here. I mean, even just taking 5 to 10 minutes every single day to work on something that matters to you, to learn something, to grow towards something. This could be reading something that you want to become more knowledgeable in. This could be working on your side hustle. This could be learning to knit just because you want to learn how to knit. This could be stretching for 10 minutes every night because you really want to get the splits. As humans, we always want to be growing and evolving, and that is just what innately feels good to us. It's satisfying to us. And when we feel stagnant, that's when we're likely going to feel more down than usual. We might feel like we don't want to get out of the bed in the morning or feel like we're just in a rut. Just the act of working towards something and making progress on that goal makes you feel happier. And it also adds a sense of direction and purpose into your life, even if it's small, even if it's just for fun. All right, third, and this is a big one, try to facilitate small or even just tiny ways throughout the day to connect with others. The one thing that nobody tells you when you're growing up is how lonely it can feel to be an adult. When we're a kid, we go to school or maybe we're on a sports team, and so we kind of have this built-in community. These are a bunch of kids that you pretty much have to see every single day, and you all have each other and you become friends. But nobody really prepares you for the fact that when you grow up and you're an adult and you enter the real world, that you don't really have that anymore. You don't have that built-in community, and no one really prepares you for the fact that it takes quite a bit of work to maintain friendships and to just simply connect with others. It can be really isolating being an adult, and that's just something that nobody really talks about much. But we are community-driven beings. We are not meant to be isolated. We are not meant to be separated from one another. And especially with everything happening over this past year, it's just gotten really intense, right? And a lot of people's mental health has really tanked because of it. This isn't healthy and it isn't natural, and so we have to put more time and attention into connecting with others. So yes, calling a friend, meeting up with a friend is great. Spending quality time with your family is obviously great. These are all amazing, but what I mean here specifically is kind of taking advantage of those tiny moments throughout the day, those tiny moments that you're able to connect with others. When you're walking around the neighborhood, say hi and smile to everyone that you pass. When you're buying your groceries, don't just ignore everyone and look at your phone the whole time. Look the cashier in the eyes. Say hello, genuinely ask them how they're doing, and listen. When you see a cute puppy on the street, snap a picture and send it to your friend. These, might all sound silly and useless, but it's not. These tiny little moments of connection throughout your day, they add up and they matter. I recently moved to the South from living in California my entire life, and one of the things that I really love about here is how friendly people are, and they're not afraid to just spark up a random conversation with someone you're next to in line, whereas I'm used to people more so keeping to themselves. And it's funny because I'm pretty introverted and I really don't enjoy small talk, but those little hellos and those tiny little conversations throughout the day, they make me feel better. They make me happier. And the next habit that makes me feel way happier is taking long walks outside, not just walks on the treadmill at your gym, but walks outside. There's something about being outside that just feels good. If it's cold, putting on a jacket. If it's warm, feeling the sun on your face, feeling the breeze on your skin. And yes, you can walk on a treadmill while watching your favorite show on an iPad, and that's still great. You're getting in movement, but it's just not the same. Being outside is grounding. You get vitamin D, you get fresh air, you feel more connected to the world around you. And there's something that happens in your body after walking a while. Your body starts to rid itself of all of those pent-up emotions, all of that anxiety. Your brain gets clearer, and again, you feel more grounded. Movement is one of the best ways to release stuck emotions from your body and let them go. And by doing this in nature, it's kind of like a double whammy, a win-win. It just feels good. I love and highly recommend going for at least one long walk a week, but even just a 10-minute walk around your block in the morning or after lunch, it's really rejuvenating. So somewhere along the line of growing up and adulting, we forgot the value of play. We forgot how to play. It doesn't come natural to us anymore. But I think just playing and being a kid sometimes is one of the best things we can do for our own happiness. Think back to yourself as a kid, right? What were some of your favorite things to do? For me, I did gymnastics for a really long time, and I obviously loved flipping and all that kind of stuff, and I obviously can't do that anymore. But I recently found an adult open gym near me where basically it's closed down to kids. It's just a gymnastics center that allows adults to come for 2 hours and play around and jump around and do whatever they want. And it's really fun. I really enjoy going maybe once a week or once every other week and just jumping around on the trampoline and flipping into the pit and just doing whatever and being back in that environment again and just playing and doing it solely for fun. And as a kid, I was also obsessed with dogs. I still am obsessed with dogs, and I have 2 of my own now. And sometimes I forget just how much I love dogs and how much happiness they bring me. Sometimes just taking 10 minutes to play with them outside or cuddle with them and rub their belly. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happier, and it's just playful and fun. Maybe as a kid you used to love to draw, or maybe you used to love to dance. Get back into those things again and make them a part of your life. Now the next thing, and I know that I have mentioned this before in other videos, but you have to start limiting your social media usage if you haven't already. In today's world, we are obsessed with other people's lives. It's kind of a little bit sad. But I think that social media is actually really valuable. It is not inherently bad, but we take it to an extreme. We become swept up in other people's lives or obsessed with how other people are viewing us instead of just focusing on ourselves, our lives, and how we're feeling. I mean, I feel like social media and just screens in general can be like a drug. It can be very addictive, and we can be utterly addicted to those dopamine hits that we get when we're just scrolling on Instagram or things like that. And I think a lot of us, myself included, will often find ourselves checking our phones constantly or constantly wanting to see what other people are up to and scrolling. And I just reached a point where I was like, what am I doing? So I intentionally took a step back. I gave myself more limits. I turned off all of my notifications for all of my social media, and I only checked them at certain times of the day. And you know what? I felt a million times better. It was hard at first, but once you start focusing more on you and your own life, you kind of realize how much better you feel away from all that kind of stuff. However, I will say that a lot of people use social media to distract themselves from their own life. And so, of course, when you take this away, you have to face it. That kind of stuff becomes more apparent. You have to face those problems, those difficulties, the confusion, whatever it is. And so while this may be difficult at first, it's a really important part of growing into your best self. So don't be afraid of it. So I know you may have heard this one when it comes to living a happier life, and that's because it's important and it works. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. We tend to focus on the stuff that we don't have and the stuff that's not going right, as opposed to the stuff that we do have and the stuff that is going right. Now, when people say they have a gratitude practice, a lot of times this means they take, 5 minutes every morning to write down all of these things that they're thankful for. And I think that that's a great practice, and I encourage you to try it if that's something that interests you. But what I mean here more specifically is really incorporating this gratitude throughout your day, throughout your life, when you do certain things and when you see certain things. For example, let's say you're paying your electricity bill online. This might stir up feelings of anxiety or fear around that money being taken away, or maybe just feelings of anger or annoyance. But what if you just thought about it differently? Next time you're thinking that kind of way, take a step back and reframe your thoughts. Instead, say, thank you for the electricity that I've had for the past month. I mean, imagine your life without electricity. Thank you for having the money to pay for this. When you don't want to cook your groceries for dinner, reframe this into thank you for all of this fresh food in my fridge. When you don't want to work out, but you know that you need to and can tell that you need to, thank you for the ability to move my body. A simple mindset shift makes a world of a difference. I hope these simple habit changes help you like they've helped me, but before you go, be sure to watch these 2 videos right here. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to let me know. I appreciate you watching and being here until the very end. You're a real one, and I will see you next time.